There's a growing trend in the Northeast to have abused animals represented in court. In 2016, Connecticut passed something known as Desmond Law, which would allow for an abused animal to have a court-appointed advocate. Now, in Connecticut, these advocates are volunteers. A bill was introduced in New York today, and New Jersey considering something where the courts would actually appoint an attorney or a law student to advocate for the animal. Now, no word on what it might cost the taxpayers in New Jersey and New York, but it's an interesting thought as to whether or not animals who have been abused deserve representation. Joining me now is John DeCando from Patterson Animal Control in New Jersey. John, welcome to Chasing News. How are you?
Good. How are you doing, sir?
Here's what I want to understand. One of the points made by the different legislators proposing this is that animal abuse cases are under-prosecuted, and oftentimes the sentences, even in a conviction, are lenient. What do you say?
I agree. I agree 100%, and I think this new law is going to make a great big difference. I mean, how could you put money on something that an animal is being abused? I think it's a fantastic law.
Let me ask you this, who should pay for it? I mean, don't we already have the SPCA? We've got prosecutors who can rely on subject matter experts. You've got judges that have the discretion to throw some of these bad guys in jail.
I think being represented by lawyers pro bono, it'll be a fantastic idea. They'll do anything to protect our four-legged friends. You have to remember, there's no such thing as bad animals in the world. There's bad people in the world.
John, thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Let's bring back tonight's A-plus panel, immigration attorney Afia Yunus and editor and publisher of the Save Jersey blog, attorney Matt Rooney. Afia, I'm going to start with you on this. So I'm looking at the bill, and it says right here, fiscal implications. Undetermined. Undetermined. Now, the Connecticut law, there's no cost to the taxpayers because these are volunteers coming in to advocate for the animals. What do you think?
I mean, first of all, my mind is blowing because that was all of our first question is, are they being paid and where is the money coming from? To me, it just seems like a standard question that anyone should ask. Do I feel that they need the advocate? I think it's always positive for the prosecution and defense to have resources. So if this is going to be similar to a guardian ad litem for a child who's like an advocate for the best interests, then that might work and they could submit a report to the prosecutor who then uses that as a resource.
Matt, is this the height of absurdity? There are subject matter experts that can weigh in when a judge is talking about a sentence for an animal abuser. I think we're missing a whole component here of mental health. I mean, some of these hoarding cases and abuse cases, you've got people that have serious issues mentally.
And let's not forget, too, the bigger picture here. There are humans in New Jersey, Bill, who can't get legal aid. I know Afia and I are both aware of this in our respective practices, and it's a big discussion every year, not just with the judiciary, but also with the Bar Association. How do we get people in New Jersey and other states the help they need? And we're going to spend money on dogs, and they haven't even thought before they wrote the bill how much it's going to cost. It's a travesty.
Afia?
Yeah, I mean, it's just really upsetting that they don't know where the money's coming from. And I can name countless undocumented immigrants that could really benefit from these funds and have a larger fund for them to have representation.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.